Hey guys, I hope that everybody is doing amazing. So today I wanted to discuss one of my most popular videos that I have on my channel. It ended up gaining 44 likes, and while that's not like, oh my gosh, it's so crazy, it's pretty crazy for me considering I'm a new channel and I'm just starting out. So the 44 likes, it definitely went, highly noticed. And the video had to do with seeing shadows, right? The shadow people that are hanging out in the corner of our eyes, that are always standing behind us, that are kind of lurking, I guess, in the background. And to me, those are our spirit guides. They are the people who are just here to be a part of our journey. And they have very intense energies sometimes. Last night I was visited by one, and it basically scared scared me. It was just very intense, and like they are very intense, and I believe that they are a part of us, so it's kind of like ourselves in another form almost. But it was definitely alarming, and it made me feel like I needed to be doing something. And it is what it is, I guess. But I wanted to, talk about everybody's experience with them, because it can be very alarming and frightening, and if you don't have people to talk to about it, it's lonely. It's very lonely to not have anybody to speak about specific aspects in your life with. And those guides are very, 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 very meaningful, and they're strong, and they're here to help protect us and guide us. And it's frightening. It's frightening sometimes, because sometimes they just don't go away. Sometimes they're always standing in a specific area. Sometimes they're always right next to us. Sometimes they're always behind us. Sometimes they're always like in the corner, and they're always there for a reason, like a message. Usually mine come to me to alert me of death, or needing to do something, or the end of something, or the beginning of something, or a very drastic change to come. And it's completely normal. You're not crazy. It happens to a lot of people. A lot of people just don't like to talk about it, but it's a spiritual experience, and sometimes it drives me to want to be completely alone, honestly, because it's a lot to process, and you probably start to get very overwhelmed, overstimulated, and just everything starts to be putting you on edge a lot, and anxieties start to rise high. Sometimes it can lead you to depression, because you can't understand it. And hopefully I can help shed some light onto it. They're just there to guide you. And the feelings that you're feeling are completely normal. You're going to feel alone. You're going to feel a little bit depressed at times. You're going to feel anxious. You're not going to understand. This is something outside of the physical world. This is something that is multidimensional and on a plane where we're able to see it. My grandma, before she died, she was chanting something of a song that I didn't understand. It was in a different language. Like, this woman was singing in a different language. And I didn't understand it, and my grandma was dying, and we didn't know that she was going to die at that time. My mom and my family was like, don't listen to her, she's just on drugs, because, she was being heavily sedated to basically, numb all the pain she was encountering. And I just remember not being, the chanting echoed in her hospital room. It was very trippy, and I remember it raining outside, and I remember her reaching out her hand to me for me to come over, and she basically said my nickname to me, and she told me to go by her, and she said, you have the gift of sight and to know. And at the time I didn't understand it, and it was kind of like one of those things where you just kind of step back and you're like, oh my gosh, what the heck, and I was so young. I was 10 years old when it happened. I didn't understand any of it, and eventually it started making sense. I started having very spiritual interactions with the universe and all that is. And I could tell you guys stories that would just blow your socks away. Like, I've seen Hurricane Sandy before it happened. I had a horrific experience with just Foresight. And I mean horrific because it was very intimidating. It was also a blessing. It was very amazing at the same time. It's like a blessing in disguise. But overall, it was very horrific because of the amount of everything. Like, I can't even explain it. It's like you are one and the same. There is no time. And I was basically seeing the entire play out of Sandy in a very weird way. And I remember it was happening like a week before Sandy hit, and then I ended up seeing on the news that Sandy had hit. And I've had other encounters where, like, I draw something and it'll happen very randomly. Sometimes it'll be within the day, sometimes it'll be within a week, sometimes it's 10 years, but it always happens. And it's always weird because I draw it and then it happens. You know, so it's like the plane of time not existing, and it's a lot to digest sometimes, especially when you're having very heavy episodes and experiences with it. And I call them episodes because it's kind of like a TV show, I guess. But it's all completely normal, and the people that I see sometimes are very detailed in features, and other times they're just shadows, very, very shadows. And this is not like a crazy thing. This is only strictly spiritual. So please do not get the two mixed up, because, you know, considering, you know, the craziness that is a part of spirituality, it's within reason. So that's like over multiple bases. But yeah, no, it's completely normal. Don't let people tell you that you're crazy and that your emotions are not valid and that your desires and your thoughts and what you're feeling and seeing is not real, because, like, you're seeing it. You just need to be surrounded by your people, and your people are going to be the ones that understand you. And they're going to be able to comprehend what you're saying. And just remember, like, the people who really made a difference in the world were always called crazy. They were always called crazy. Now, I'm meaning this in more of like a positive outside, I guess, perspective. Not in the sense of like it really taking a toll on you. So like if you're experiencing something that's like overwhelming and you don't feel safe, like, then I would say, you know, you should probably just go to a recovery area for your mental well-being and your stabilization of your health. But if this is like just coming to you on a normal basis, on an irregular basis, whatever, you know, and it's not affecting you in a negative manner, then, you know, by all means, just accept it for what it is and try to kind of figure out why it's there and what's happening around you when it does arrive. Because every single time mine arrive, it's because there's some form of change or ending or death, and it's always on time. Like, it's always on time, and it doesn't go away until the person or the people within the connection to me, no matter the distance, have all gone through what they needed to go through, and then it disappears, and then it doesn't come back until the next thing. Like, for example, people dying, you know, I kept foreseeing the shadow that just would not go away, and it was like a very big shadow, and I was like, wow, this is like very big deal. And I didn't expect to, you know, get connected to certain aspects within the news, but like, I found it very weird that, you know, the Gabby thing was happening because I kept seeing the shadow that wouldn't go away, and it was there for a long time. And last night I saw a very, very large shadow, and it was very detailed, and I'm not sure what that one was really saying, but very powerful and connected, and it's a lot. And once, you know, there's some closure on those aspects of either death or change or end or beginning, it goes away, and it has gone away. And last night was like the first time I've seen it in a while, and it's just all weird, but it's normal. Completely normal. And it sounds crazy, and it is crazy in a good way. So just understand that you may have the gift of sight, okay? And that is an okay thing, because you are able to just see differently. You're able to see the world differently, and that's beautiful. That's an amazing thing. And I'm not sure if you've ever heard about this, but in other parts of the world, in very small tribes of civilizations, they see people who go through psychosis in their younger ages as shamans, right? And now I'm not claiming anything at all, but I'm just sharing this. So the cool thing is, usually what happens is a woman, or it's usually women, but usually like a woman or a man will go through a period in their younger days of being alive, like when they're a teenager or when they're a tween or a kid, and they start to experience almost psychosis in a sense. And it's very intense, and there's always an older shaman that is the guide there, the healer of, the tribe that brings peace where there is none in these spiritual aspects, and they will lead the younger generations through this. And basically, once you overcome this transformation into your higher being, you then take over the shaman, and then you and that shaman are then connected from there on until the older shaman descends into their next life, and then the younger generation then takes over, and it's just like this cycle that continues forward. But I found it very, very amazing, and there's actually like a TEDx talk on this, and it's a very beautiful thing, because it confirms that we're not crazy. We're just like connected and crazy because we're connected. And it's all within reason, because as long as for good, it's a good thing, okay? And just, you have to learn yourself what it is there for, because what mine may be here for may not be the same reason that yours are here for, right? So mine are telling me usually of death or a large change that's making an end, a new cycle that's beginning, right? So, like, yours may not actually be here for that same reason. Maybe yours is here to, say that there's a new horizon coming, or that there's like, you're able to see a natural disaster or something, right? Like, when I went through my experience with Sandy, it was very, very intense. Like, I was able to go up to buildings and touch the buildings and know which building would end up catching on fire, and it was very detailed. Like, it was very, very intense. And I had to go to a recovery place to stabilize myself after that, because it was very, 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 it was a lot. It was a lot. And I was drawing pictures of like these bunnies with these capes on them, and like the letter S in them, right? And like, I didn't understand anything that I was doing, and then like Sandy was there. And Sandy did so much destruction, and there was fires in buildings during this time, like flooding and fires, and it was just so crazy. And like, I saw it before it happened. So if you're foreseeing these things, don't ignore them, because they're real. They're real, and you should never ignore them. Sometimes they're a practice. I like to call them practices, because sometimes it's just to make sure that you're still listening. You understand? So sometimes there's these alarms set in your path and your day that is like, pay attention. Hi, I'm here. Are you looking, listening? And it's not a negative thing at all. They just want to make sure that you're paying attention to them and that you're aware of them. And as long as you are aware but not paying close attention, they'll guide you to where you need to be, and they'll unveil what they need to show you. And that's that. There's nothing to be afraid of. It's just like a simple, it's like doing a business transaction almost. It's that simple. And if you see it like a business transaction, then you're more than likely going to be able to, overcome it in a much lighter way and simpler way. But, those feelings that you get from it, the isolation, needing like you need to isolate, even depression, anxiety, feeling a little bit off, crazy, that's completely normal things, and don't let it get to you. Just keep moving forward. I know it gets hard sometimes, but just keep moving forward and keep doing your thing, and you will get to where you need to be. So thank you guys for listening again, and I really hope that my videos help you in some way, whether that's through business or spirituality. I am very, very thankful for the opportunities that you guys give to me, and I hope to speak to you guys some more, and please have a wonderful rest of your weekend and days to come, and I will speak to you guys again very soon.